Hello, the game has started. My opponent's opened with a bingo, and I'll be looking to resolve the WU combo, but just checking if there might be a bingo. I have the sub prefix. Not seeing anything there. Just looking if I have anything through that A as far as 4 timers go. Not seeing anything there. I think WAB looks okay for 20. Not a good pickup. I duplicate the U's and triplicate the S's. So unlikely to be bingoing here. I have the un prefix. Unsusses doesn't sound plausible to me. An interesting position this. Perhaps just sun for 22. Oh, not Batu, I'm thinking of taboo, so that wouldn't work. What about Sats for 15? No good. Uts for 14. Okay, opponent scores well there, 40 points, only 103 points behind now. But we'll have to see if we got a bingo here. Don't quite have euglenners. I'd need an S to be an A. Seg looks okay for 29. Unities, will that play? It currently does. For 69. And it also plays above uts, making nuts. So I could play it here, but I know it scores more at the top, but it gives back too much. Does unities have an anagram? Intues, no. No, not seeing it. Unities for 69. I draw the J and a blank. I have Jiao. I remember that with a mnemonic. John is always out. That's the easy way to remember that one. But do I have a bingo? I have add G on my rack as well. Not seeing a bingo. Can I get my J to play through the S? Getting the J doubled. Not that I can see. Jiao doesn't quite play across the top of furry. Wow, 41 for furry. Nice find. Jiao plays below furry but gives back a fortune of points. I think I might play Joe here for 30. Okay, I draw a blank, which is a great sight. But I do have two I's to deal with, so reagenic from an R or through an R or a G. Not many floaters to consider here. I'll have to dig deep for a 5-vowel 8 through this E. Eyepiece, earpiece, and C-piece. None of those follow the pattern because I've got the two I's. Iopanoic. Iopanoic doesn't work because I've got an E. Inducii. That should work. Inducii through an N or a D. No, none of them. Okay, there's an H to work with now. Not quite Uther K. Uther K. That S seems to be the most likely floater for me to utilize. IES. Orices. No, I've got two I's. I have the ISE ending. That seems like a good way to start. It's so hard to visualize it with two blanks. have the air component, so air, just not seeing it. Calamities. That's a bit too long. Cavities. Cavities, that works. That took a while. Just so I find it so hard with the two blanks to visualize the words. Do I have anything? Okay, well, I've got the I there, so maybe dire. Oh, that's been taken. And I can't extend the Q there in any meaningful way. What about something head? Something head. Deathy doesn't reach. Oh, actually, Deathy does reach. 39. Just looking if there is a 9 timer through that H. Not seeing it. Not a great pickup. I draw some duplicates there. If I had an S, I could play chins. That's not available. Does my C play anyway? Well, I suppose can. Seems a bit weak. Gives back a lot. Does thought that clan would be better. What opponent scored well there? I'll go with clan for 20. I kind of need a bingo again here though. And I do draw well, although Guy only takes an S. So once opponent takes that bingo lane out, then there's not much to talk of. Okay, opponent bingos, so I think this is the end. Trained and detrain don't play. Just not seeing a good play here. Okay, I draw the Z, but not seeing a great Zebet play. Nothing for going above LA. Maybe I should have played Drew to keep a hook for... Yeah, Drew might have been better. Trez, I guess, through the R. Zati, 33. Nib, don't know what nib aims to achieve, but it's some score, I guess. I don't see myself bingoing on this board. Once that's blocked, which I think opponent will do any second now. Actually, those tiles are very bingo. Opponent might have... yeah, he takes that out. Can't get across the top of G. Opponent, okay. Not a good pickup. Zati still available. And yeah, just not seeing any great players. I've got too many duplicates and triplicates here, I think. So bingos are not gonna work. I suppose I have Z here, but the spot likely to be taken. Not taken. And pinhole. Cross the top onto the H. Yeah, not seeing any good plays if opponent doesn't go out. What to do? Tight. It is a tight board. T. 15. So, how many bingos opponents had? 1, 2. 2 bingos. I've had 2 bingos. Furry was a big score. That was about close to 50. Opponent taking some time with this move, just 6 tiles on the rack. So no bingo available. Yep, spots pinhole. So congratulations to opponent. And let's see what we missed. 485 to 374. So Mantles was best, so opponent spotted that one. Wab for 20 seems best. Vita for 23 was opponent's. Utz for 14 or Susu for 15. Yeah, I did think of Susu, but I didn't. B5. Oh, Susu, nah, I don't like that. Giving easy points in the trip lane for just 15-point play. So, still happy with Ut, second best. Rev for 40, so opponent got a nice underlap there. And at this stage, I'm 100 points behind. Ah, look at that. Negative uses. Well, that's the way I'm going to remember it anyway. So neg uses for 79 at B1, making swab. Okay, it is a word I've seen before, but not often. Gen uses good as well. Gen uses, neg uses. Alright, that was a miss. 29, and then opponent 23 for Puff. Could have scored 31 using both Fs. And unities for 69, but 77 was that spot I identified along the top. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was unities there. And unitize. B1, B2. Unities. Sputs. Oh, I wonder why unities wasn't on offer. Maybe sputs isn't right. Yeah, maybe. No, it should be. But anyway, spotted the bingo there, so that's fine. Furry for 41, so now opponent is a bingo ahead again. Cotija. Using... playing through the T. Cotija. Opening the trip lane. Not a fan of that with all these heavyweight Zs and Xs and things to come. So, Joe for 30. I know it kept 2 eyes, but it was a good score. 14A. Again, Joe, I did identify that, but just way too volatile. And easy points back to opponents. So still happy with Joe. Hood for 35 was opponent's best. And this is where I activize was the or layer size. Those were the ones I needed to find to get the word doubled. So cavities was and acidiest. These are all words, like I say, really a bit tricky when you're trying to visualize letters that are not actually in front of your eyes. So I only scored 58 when I could have scored 73. Chi for 43, opponent scored very well with a Q. Deathy for 39 was best. Max for 48 was best for opponent. Clan close to being best. Very similar equities. Nan at N8. Just want to see. Well, yeah, I know there were no S's to come or blanks, so that trip couldn't be utilized, but I don't know, it just opened. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, maybe Nan was the way to go there. I went with Clan up the top, thinking that I'd create a bingo lane because I was a bingo behind at that stage, and lo and behold, opponent had the bingo waiting with no home, and I basically gave a perfect spot for it onto the top of Clan, and then detrain, my rack finally matures into bingo there, and no place for it. So draw seems fine. Nid through the eye. Actually, Yeah, maybe nud, although there were 4 E's to come and nud takes an E. So I think opponent would have just scored then. It's too volatile. Actually, as it happens, opponent never had an E. So maybe, I mean, it just didn't seem statistically like the right play. Maybe because I was so far behind, the volatility, to introduce that level of volatility is actually best. But anyway, I went with draw, creating another bingo lane. Should have played drew, I think. But horn dog for 24. Actually had horn dog on her rack, Laurie, but no place for it. So used the R and played it through for 24, and that killed the bingo lane, but I was nowhere near a bingo. Nib for 23, ZE for 48, which I did actually spot later. I'm surprised I didn't spot it on this turn. And then urea, opponent played at the top. Incur for 26, 5k. Okay, but I don't know if that was best, leaving an R in the... So she went with urea, and then Z for 48. Or Z, however you pronounce it. Pinol for 32 to go out. So that was a good game. Opponent played pretty well there, I thought. And hope you enjoyed watching that game. And I will see you next time.